Okay, crypto market moving yet again down today, and it's got a lot of people worried. Not me, don't worry about that, but yeah, I mean, a lot of coins have fallen down another layer. Bitcoin back to 93,000, Ethereum back to the 3,200s, XRP back to $2.15, and I wouldn't say this is the craziest of falls. We're only down like 2% or so on many coins. As a matter of fact, many of them are still up. Virtual still up 8% throughout the day. AVA still up 10%, even throughout the hour. Many coins are actually, funnily enough, up. But there's also some coins moving back down today. And it's, I guess, just showing of how interestingly volatile the crypto market can get. But here's something that I thought was pretty interesting. So MicroStrategy just proved our point of if you just literally do not care and continue on with the strategy, you'll make it through. MicroStrategy has just acquired another 5.3 thousand Bitcoin for $560 million at an average price of $106,662 per Bitcoin, and has achieved a Bitcoin yield of 47.4% quarter to date, 73.7% year to date, and as of the 22nd of December 2024, they hold 444,000 Bitcoin acquired for $27.7 billion at $62.2 thousand per Bitcoin. Again, ladies and gentlemen, on the short term, you might look like an idiot because he bought for $106,000 and right now it is 93. Wow. I will say that every single time that MicroStrategy announces their buy, it's kind of funny that quickly afterwards prices go down because people feel like the buying pressure is over. You know, if they're done buying, especially now at such a high price, that means they were keeping prices up. And that means that right now, as they're done, prices keep falling. It happened multiple times in the near past, which is why I'm just saying it again right now. But anyway, there's also some news worth covering. Ripple CLO calls for an end to the 4-year SEC battle. XRP to soar at $3. Now, just quickly here, what in the world are they talking about? 4 years? The only thing that they're stating is that since the arrival of Joe Biden came, it's been 4 years of lawsuit. Because I kind of feel as if the lawsuit already ended like last year. And all we're dealing with here for the most part is just appeals and that. But I guess, you know, we can state that it's still ongoing. Sure, I'll accept it. Having said that, yeah, indeed, I understand from Ripple's side that they just really want things to end. And if we're taking a look at it, Stuart said this is a CLO of Ripple, right? Because right now it's the 4-year anniversary. On this 4th anniversary of the SEC's lawless lawsuit against Ripple, Brad, and Chris, we urge the incoming administration to cleanse the lingering stain of Hinman from the agency. There's much more to do to repair the damage, but let's start by restoring trust. And interestingly, I really wonder if indeed the next administration is going to take this all in with some good faith. I mean, Ripple did donate $5 million to Trump just now, and Gary Gensler is going to be leaving January 20th, I believe. So we're off to a good start. But the question, in my opinion, also is that enough? But anyway, to just quickly cover some more news, if we're talking about what's happening in the Trump section or sector, whatever, right? One thing he just announced was that Bo Hines will be the executive director of the Presidential Council of Advisors for Digital Assets, the Crypto Council, a new advisory group composed of luminaries from the crypto industry and chaired by our crypto tsar, David Sachs. Bo is graduate of 𝗕𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓, and ultimately, there were some jokes made about it, but most people saw this as something really quite exciting. And I won't be the guy to tell you it is going to be, because at the start, Gary Gensler was also seen as the man for the crypto space in a positive way. Turns out that wasn't true as well. Anyway, to continue on even further with the story. Right now, a lot of people are saying this is where things can't get any worse. I mean, I've been looking at the prices, and indeed, it's been interesting to watch, man. It really is. I personally still stand by the idea that if you just buy every freaking dip religiously, you'll do really well. Right now, for example, I'm recording, which is screwing me over. But for example, if we take a look at the Bitcoin chart right now, we're back at dips, right? We should actually, for example, right now be buying again. I'll just buy $1,000 just to show an example. We should be buying Bitcoin here because right now the price is lower than the average price we got. Right, so we should, for example, buy a couple $1,000s here, just to name a little example. I'm not saying Bitcoin isn't going to go further, but at least we're already lowering our average price down, not really by buying only $2,000 worth, but you get the idea. But man, that 4-hourly candle is actually atrocious. Then again, very often, this is where also good money can be made. But I prefer to actually buy under 93,000, as I noticed on a couple of platforms that actually got there. So perhaps we will be able to get ourselves a slightly lower price here in the next few minutes. I'll be watching out for that. But anyway, that's sometimes just what we like to do here. Get our average price down lower and lower. It's not that much money that we're putting in, 1,900 again. We just put maybe $10,000 or so into it. Let's put another $1,000 or so. Already slightly too high in my opinion. And also I'm doing this with market just because it's easier to click, but fees are obviously a little bit higher than that. Could do limit. Actually, let's buy another $1,000 or so. 1,000, there we go. Let's put an order in. Most likely it will still get filled. If it doesn't, that's also fine. Yeah, it's about it's about the idea that Bitcoin right now is dipping again, and I have to hold true to my locked in mode, where I said if we go down a lot, we have to just buy, right? No, it's way too much. But I still hold dear to that idea of, you know what? If we go down, we gotta buy that freaking dip. At 92,000, I have a $10,000 order open as well. If we do go down all the way, and then every couple of thousand, I put a couple $1,000s in buy orders open for in case we go down, we'll buy some more. Because overall, even if we go all the way back down to what, like $80,000 or so, we got to buy in big, but eventually we will be able to flip it. And as long as you're not over leveraged and you can handle it, I personally think you should be good. Even though on the short term, things could get very, very dark. I'll be the first to tell you that. Yeah, and there's a lot of key factors in the background as well for all that. There's a lot of things that also play a role in this. But anyway, with Sol, they're saying this has to be the freaking dip of dips. At the end of the day, though, there's also the opposite side who's saying, no, this is really where we start to get worse before we get a lot better. Robert Kiyosaki warns global crash has officially started. Up to this point, 2024 has been rather kind in terms of returns, not to mention the start of the cryptocurrency bull run and the S&P 500 at all-time highs, but global crash has started. Europe, China, USA going down. Depression ahead. Please be smarter with your money. Hang on to your job and your money. Biggest problem, my leaders and educators, as I have often asked, what does school teach you about money? Regardless of which way economy goes, gold, silver, and Bitcoin hold their value. For many people, crashes are the best time to get rich. I plan on getting richer. I want you to get richer and smarter too. Take care. And on that note, if you're looking for a platform to trade on, you can check out the links down below to either Blowfin or WeX. You can use these from anywhere in the world. If you can't, use a VPN. As again, right now, we might not be going up like a freaking maniac just quite yet. It might still take a little bit of time, but I will keep reiterating every single day that I'm using these dips as opportunities to get myself more coins. At least we're buying like $13,000 per Bitcoin cheaper than Michael Saylor just bought at, and he bought billions of dollars worth the last week. I don't know. I feel as if 93.4, 93.1, 92.8, it's all going to be the same. It's just like how if you bought at $7,400 or $7,200, so 7,000 per Bitcoin, right? We right now don't think, oh, 74 or 7,300, blah, blah, blah. But at the time, every $50 was a pretty big difference. Just like how right now, every $1,000 might be a very big difference. But in the future, we're talking about 7.1 mil, 7.2 mil. We're not talking about 7 million, and it's not about the $50 or the $100 like back in when Bitcoin was $2,000, for example, or when Bitcoin was $7,000. But it's kind of funny. I remember Bitcoin being at $2,000 for a very long time, in my head at least, and it kind of feels like $7,000 was very, very short amounts of time. Also because it's not really where a base was made or so. And I kind of feel as if in the future, we'll also look back at the 90K range and think, oh, it actually almost never was at $90,000. Just like how we spent almost no time at all at $80,000. We went to 76 or something like that, 70, I don't know. Then like back down for a little bit. Then all of a sudden up towards the 90-something K region, 80,000s were hit. Sure, we went from like the bottom 80 to top 80 within a day. I think we went from 80,000 to 88,000 the same day or so. I remember where I was at. And it's kind of funny how probably this will also not be remembered too far into the future. Not too far into the future, I mean, as it's all just incredibly, incredibly, incredibly low. Anyway, I'm not saying that the dip is in, that everything's going to start moving up from here. I won't be the guy to tell you. I'm just saying I'm getting ready. If things start moving down ridiculously much, I will be buying it like a freaking madman because I know where we're headed. But obviously, there will be some additional fear in the market, so be prepared for that. Ultimately, though, with everything coming up for the January season, just see this as like a Christmas gift or as a Christmas cash out, but we know what's coming next.